learned a valuable lesson about how not to take for granted those we love. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. On that fateful day in October 1997, I received a call that I prayed would never happen to my family, a call that would forever change my life, a call with the dreaded C word, cancer. You see, my mom had just informed me that she'd been diagnosed with uterine cancer. And as we both cried into the phone, my mom said, "June, I took it for granted I would be around forever. That I would see my grandkids graduate high school and get married." And I said, "Mom, I took it for granted you would be around forever too." My mom's surgery was scheduled the same day as my son's birthday. So we decided to go visit and spend some time with her before her surgery. Instead, I ended up rushing her to the emergency room. She had a blood clot in her leg, which required emergency surgery to place a stent. This delayed her receiving the surgery she needed to remove the cancer. And then when she did receive the surgery to remove the cancer, she faced one complication after another, nearly dying several times. But she overcame every single complication. We were ecstatic. We thought, she's going to make it. But then we found out she had a tumor on her spine, which required radiation and chemotherapy. We were devastated. But again, the chemo and the radiation worked. The tumor shrank. We were thrilled. We thought, she's going to make it. And then we received the most devastating news of all. The cancer had spread to her liver and her lymph nodes. It was just a matter of time. During this whole ordeal, I made many trips from St. George to California to visit my mom. We had many opportunities for some great conversations. I'm very grateful for these conversations. Not many people get that. And then one day, back in St. George, I got the call from my sister. It's time. I made arrangements for my kids, packed my bags, got to the airport. And as I got on the plane, I said, "Hang on, Mom, I'm coming." A friend of mine picked me up from the airport. When we arrived, it was dark. We knocked on the door. My sister let us in. We hugged. We cried. We went back to my mom's room. And standing in the doorway, I heard this loud gurgling noise. It frightened me. I thought my mom was in some kind of breathing apparatus. My friend informed me it was the death rattle. I was afforded some time alone with my mom. Her room was dark, except for the soft glow of the Madonna nightlight that I had given to her while she was in the hospital. I walked over to it. And lying there was the chapstick I had given to her while she was in the hospital. I picked it up. I walked over to where my mom lay in her bed. I noticed her lips were chapped. I said, "Oh, Mom, let's put some chapstick on your lips." I walked back over to the nightlight, and I laid the chapstick down. And I noticed a piece of paper lying there with writing on it. My mom had asked me to sing a particular song for her funeral, but she couldn't remember the words. And I realized these were the words to the song. And I picked it up and I said, "Oh, Mom, the words to the song." And I sat down on the edge of her bed and I started reading them out loud to her. And when I reached the part that said, "Was I brave and strong and true And did I fill the world with love my whole life through? I said, oh, Mom, yes. Yes, you filled the world with love. And I looked over at my mom, and her pale green eyes were open. There was a tear streaming down her face. I wiped the tear. I kneeled by the side of her bed and took her hand. And at that moment, my mom moved her chin 3 times like this. And I realized what she was trying to tell me. And I said, oh, Mom, I know you love me. I love you too. And then I said the words that I believe my mom longed to hear. I said, you're free. You're free. You're free. And I watched as my mom took her last breath. I informed my sister. She's gone. And my sister came in the room crying and said, Mom said she wanted to hold her babies one last time. And I said, let's make that happen. And we each lay down on either side of my mom. We took her arm and wrapped it around us and held her close. She was still warm. My mom passed away March 8, 1998, just 12 days shy of her 52nd birthday. I share this story with you because each of us have people we love and cherish. Yet how many of us take the time to let them know how much we care about them? Don't take it for granted that they'll be around forever, like I did. Don't take it for granted that you'll be around forever, like my mom did. Don't wait until you're on your deathbed to let them know how much you love them. Do it now, before it's too late. Mr.